Hello everyone, welcome. In this video you will learn how you can export data from COMSOL Multiphysics as a CSV file and then use Python to plot the graph. Now why we are interested in Python? Because as we all know, Python is a programming language and it is a very powerful one. So maybe you have a data which you want to analyze using particular algorithm, or maybe you want to fit that data to some other model. In all those cases, Python is very useful because you have the flexibility to do basically anything that is possible. So without wasting any time, let's jump in. So I have a model here which I was working on a photonic crystal fiber. So this is the effective area data. So now what I'll do, I will just right click and export the data. Okay, so I'll click on add plot data to export. Now I have this here. I'll select text and I'll click on browse. Now here I'll select CSV and I'll select photonic crystal data effective area and click save, and I'll click on append as column and I will click on export. When I click on export, the file should be exported in the folder. So I'll just recheck. Now as you can see that my file is here. So if I just open the file, you can see I have a CSV file and here I have different columns of data, right? So I'll just close this. So I have this data here. Now we are going to create a Python file and then study how we can plot the data in Python. So we are in Python. So I'll just create a new file. So I've already created a new blank file. So I'll just open this. So now we are going to write a code. This will be a small code like 10 to 15 lines. So let's start. The first part is to import matplot library. So I'll explain one by one what is going on. So at first we'll write import matplot library plot as plt, right? So what it means is that so first we import the matplotlib library's pyplot module as plt. This module provides a collection of functions that help us create various type of plots such as line graph, bar charts and scatter plot. Okay, so next we are going to write with open data file. I'll just put the file name later, comma r as file, and we have lines equal to file dot lines. So now we will read the data from a CSV file called data.csv. We will rename this later. To do this, we use a with statement to open the file in read mode, denoted by the R flag. This ensures that the file is closed automatically after the block of code is executed. We read all the lines from the file and store them as line called lines. Okay, so this is the function of this code. Now next we will extract the numerical data from the list of lines. We use a list comprehension to create a list of tuples where each tuple contains two float value representing the x and y coordinate. So we only process lines that do not start with the percentage character, because in the data we had the percentage symbol. So this is how we filter the data. So we will write xy values equal to tuple first bracket map float line dot split. So basically what is happening here is that it will select the lines which do not have the percentage symbol in the front. Okay, now what we will do, we will separate the x and y values by using the zip function with the asterisk operator, which unpacks the list of tuples. This gives us two separate lists, x data and y data, containing the x and y values. So we'll write the x data comma y data equal to zip. So now we have the x and y data. Now we are ready to plot the data. We use the plt.plot function to create a line graph with circular marker for data point connected by a solid line. We pass it to the x data and y data list as the x and y coordinate. So to do that, we just write plt.plot x data comma y data comma marker. So this is the marker, and in the line style we'll write just a hyphen and we'll close the bracket, right? So we have the plot command. Now we may be interested to add labels, so we'll write plt dot x label and in the x label we can write x values. So I'll just copy this just to save time, and in this will be y and this will be y. Okay, so these are the levels, and now we will just add a title to the graph. So this is plt dot title. So this is like y versus x plot, right? Then we can write plt dot grid true. So there will be a grid in the plot. It looks better when we are analyzing the data. And then at last we have to write plot dot show to actually show the result. So if the code is fine, then it should run properly. In the meantime, I have to just copy this and I have to paste the file name here so that it reads the proper file. Now let us discuss the line.split part. So the split method is a string method in Python that breaks a string into the last substring based on specified delimiter. So in this case the delimiter is comma, which is common in CSV file, right? In CSV file you must have seen that the data are separated by commas. So line.split splits a line from the file into substrings separated by commas. So basically this line, the iteration is over the line in the lines. Okay, it first checks if the line starts with the percentage character using the starts with method. If it does not start with the percentage, it proceeds to process the file, otherwise it skips the line. Now we also use the map function, which applies a specific function to each item in the iterable. In this case we apply a float function to each item in the list generated by line.split. This converts the substring into float values because there can be decimal places. There will be decimal places when you are exporting data from say COMSOL Multiphysics. So in that case we have to use float. So I hope that you understood what is going on here. So I'll just run the file. There is an error. I'll just check what is going on. So the problem here is that here there will be a comma. Okay, now let's see. I hope this will run. Tuple object has no attribute y data. So again I have a mistake here. This will be a comma. Now let's see if it is fine. There are a lot of errors. Yeah, so I have the plot now. So as you can see, I have this plot. I have the y value here, x value here, and the title, and I have this nice plot. Now the plots in Python is quite professional to look, and also you can create a single template and use it over and over again for your journal or whatever you are working. So here, if I change the title to plot for experiment 01, and if I run this again, so I have this graph. So if I open COMSOL, you can see that I have the same graph here, and you can change the color, the dots, and everything. You can also, since you have the x and y data, you can fit it, do all kind of analysis, and also save it as a different data file, transport it to MATLAB, and so on. There are endless possibilities using Python. Now if you learned something, do support this channel by subscribing and leave a comment, and also you can like this video to show some appreciation. Thank you all for watching and have a nice day ahead.